goal they have. So you can say something like, you got to get it done in the next 2 hours. You got to get it done
Okay.
in, yep, whatever the case may be.
Okay. Well, I see April has her hand up, so we might as well go with April.
There we
Thank
go.
you, and good morning, everybody. I just officially launched the school community and announced it yesterday. So today, I need to create some content, some posts that are scheduled to go out later in the week regarding the community. So that is what I need to get done today. And I'm going
Oh,
to challenge Coach Ruth.
well, we're at 10, 8:10,
Okay,
so we can't
okay,
do another one.
okay.
But still challenge her in the chat. Still challenge
Okay.
her in the
Okay.
chat. All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for joining me in the accountability portion of the morning meetup. Look, if you want to play tag accountability tag with somebody, go ahead at them in the community, the main chat, and challenge them. That's all you got to do. All right. So, with that having been said, oh man, y'all, with that having been said, I have the honor, the privilege, the pleasure of bringing up the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, podcast king extraordinaire. What is happening here? Did you do this, David? The one, the only, David Shands.
What did I do? It looks crazy.
Yeah, I'm
Okay, I got you.
spotlight. Yeah, there we go. Okay. David messing up my flow.
Oh man, I apologize. I apologize. Good morning, family. I hope all is well. Ah, man, how many people have been thinking about the scale? How many people have been thinking about the scale? How do we sell? How do we build something that can be sold? Has anyone been uh, as stressed out as I have? And here's the thing: I don't think we're doing anything wrong. I don't think we're doing anything wrong, but I do believe that there's more for us. Do you agree? There's more. There's more to do if you desire that. But I believe that we are going to grow to the scale of which we can think. And it's not about our talent or our ability, it's at the scale in which we can think. I think we can scale to the height of how we see it. Somebody put a me in the chat if you've had limited beliefs on your own ability to build something in the past. I do believe if we create an environment here that thinks big and we have conversations about big, I think it creates an environment for success. Have you ever gone to an event or been at a workshop or been in a meeting, and in that conversation, you start to see things from a different perspective? When people start talking big thoughts, big dreams, big ideas, you leave with bigger thoughts. You're like, man, I done created this little book and I had no plan for it. I can't believe my whole goal, my whole calculation was how many books can I sell for $20? And if I sell 1,000 of them, I can make $20,000. But if you get in a room with some people that give their book away for free, have you ever seen that? Okay, last year at Podcast Summit, a gentleman by the name of Daniel Priestley, who wrote Oversubscribed, very successful author, he released a book. And I asked Daniel, I said, hey, Daniel, I would love for you to speak at Podcast Summit. And he said, sure, I would love to. Give me the dates. I said, wow. Because I heard this guy speak at an event. I'm like, this guy's incredible. I'm just going to ask. So I asked, and he said yes. And what he said was, how many people are you going to have there? I said, about 1,000. He said, I would speak if you put one book on every single chair before they get into the building. In my head, I start calculating. This guy's smart. He's brilliant. I'm in my mind, I'm like, all right, cool. 1,000 books. I don't know if you're selling them for $30, but I'd imagine you're going to give them to me for $20 because I'm buying in bulk. So I'll buy $20,000 worth of books, and that'll like cover your speaking fee. I said, this guy, he's smart. So I'm in my mind, I'm like, all right, so I didn't ask how much the books were. I said, okay, so, what do we do about the books? He said, oh, I'll just mail them. And I said, okay. And I still didn't say how much. I said, well, okay, what's my cost? He said, no, I'll just ship them. And I said, okay, well, what, okay, what do I have to do? Because I don't want to say how much. I don't even want to have this conversation. He essentially says, oh, I'll pay for the books and the shipping. I'll take care of that cost. This is different. This is different. Hold on one second. So you're going to come speak at my event. You're going to come all the way from the UK because he lives in the UK. You're also going to take 1,000 books and you're going to pay the shipping and ship them all the way to Atlanta. Really? Because in my mind, I have the thought, I have the idea. Oh, I had the thought in my mind, the way I think, I'm calculating, okay, it's going to cost me $3 to print them, sell them for 20, I make $17, I make $17,000. In my mind, I'm thinking the amount of money that I'm going to make per book, but he doesn't think like that. I didn't get a chance to get into it, but he had a different plan. He sees, I see $20. He sees something else. He sees if I get my book in the hands of 1,000 people, there's something in this book that will bring me some money later. At that point, I knew there are levels to thinking. Isn't that interesting, y'all? Why would he do that? Okay, let's say it costs him $3. Let's say it costs him $3 to print the book. Well, 1,000 will cost him $3,000, meaning he's paying to speak. Listen, for a while, I could not wrap my mind around what's happening here. But that is the difference, isn't it? That's the difference between someone who makes six figures and someone who makes millions. That is the difference between someone who makes millions and someone who makes billions. Okay. Anybody go to the Kroger's? Now you might not. I don't know if they have the Kroger's in the north, but in the south we have the Kroger's. Now it's called the Kroger's. They just don't put the on there. I mean, for those that's in the south, we go to the Kroger's. They don't put the or the S on the end, but it's actually called the Kroger's. Where are you going, to the Kroger's? If you ever, yes, we have Kroger. Okay. So it's a grocery store, and they have this little membership where they give a percentage off, and you can sign up for it. Someone told me that when you sign up for a Kroger membership, it's not about your ability to get the buy one, get one half off. It's not about your ability to get the buy one, get one free. It's not about the discounts that you get. They actually sell the data, and the data is a $1 billion operation. I'm having a conversation with someone. They say, yo, the data is what sells. Your data is being sold for billions. our thought is, wow, we get the cinnamon toast crunch for buy one get one half off. I need that. We get in the Captain Crunch buy one get one simply because I have a membership. But when you trade that information, they get so much information from you. Now, why would someone buy names and emails and phone numbers for billions? Because that gives us a demographic of what the heck they buy. And these companies can target you based on what your buying habits are. And they believe if they market the thing that you're already buying, you'll buy more. Or they market to you an alternative to what you're already buying because I know you bought a bunch of these already. If I market that to you, you will buy. And that will make me billions. So, of course, I'll buy your data for billions. I didn't. Amazon gives like free shipping as a Prime member. And I think everybody's a Prime member, no, for the most part. Why would they take that 5, 6, 10, $20 hit? Because a bigger game is being played here. I'm asking all of us here to study business. Now, again, I'm not coming at you from the perspective of I am the business guru. However, I'm starting to understand. I remember printing my book and calculating $20 a book. I'll make some money. Ooh, I'll get some bread from a speaking gig, but there is a different play here. Okay. Here we go. We're continuing our conversation on thinking big because I am more on this journey of what does it take to build something that someone else wants to buy? What does it take? And I'm interested in this. I made a post yesterday. I've done almost everything that you can be respected as an entrepreneur or even a coach. I have the credentials. Anybody want to check me? I have the credentials. I've done a bunch of stuff. Not only built the business, I built communities. I've put on live events. I've been putting on live events since like 2015. I'm an author. I made money in real estate, stocks, and crypto actively. I can speak. I've been paid to speak. I've done a lot of entrepreneurial, respectable things. Entrepreneurial. Nella, relax. Okay, let me work. Done some things that can be respected, but it's something about an exit. It's something about being able to build something that someone else could take over. And I don't think I've built anything that someone else could take over yet. Yet. Even these people, you get like a big podcast deal, which is huge. But if someone gives you money for, like, let's say Joe Rogan, I think he's at like a $200 million deal, which is a lot of money, by the way, but you still got to produce that podcast. It is not that I'm trying to get away from work, but I do want to understand how to build something that's not relying on me because I have been, I don't want to use the word tricked, but I have been, this whole era over the last like 8 years of personal brand has got me to believe that I have to build a personal brand. And if I build a personal brand, I'll make money, which has worked out well. I don't want y'all to think that it hasn't worked out well because it's worked out well. But I believe I'm ready for another level. Can somebody just put another level if you're ready for another level? And your next level might be, all right, well, while we're reading these books all have some sort of lead into something else. I never considered that. I never considered that a book, as the reader's reading it, there should be some website that takes you out of the book. Maybe the next level is saying, okay, I'm going to write this book. I'm an author, cool. But the only reason I'm writing this book is to lead the reader somewhere. Maybe the next level is, okay, not just selling something, but maybe I can start putting people through somewhat of a funnel and a journey. That might be the next level for you. I'm saying the next level for me is building something that isn't based on my ability to present it. So, the first step we're going to go through is we have to start with the exit in mind. We have to start with the exit in mind. We just want to think about the exit. So, let's not build a hustle. Let's actually build an asset. And I think most of us build something to pay our bills, which is necessary. But someone buying your business needs to see how they'll make money from it without you. That's the issue. So I did drop that. Well, I didn't drop it yet, but it's being edited right now. It's not as simplistic as I thought it was going to be, but I just sat there, read it, and I gave it to my editor, and he's like putting cool stuff in there. Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, they started Airbnb, but they weren't renting out air mattresses. They built a platform that can actually be handed off to somebody else. And many of you don't know who started Airbnb, which is a good thing. They built a platform that someone else could take over, tighten the systems, and it works. It's not predicated on these two people. And many of us build a business that's predicated on our ability to sell it. Especially, oh my gosh, some of us have like these clothing lines, right? And the clothing line means something to you. And if you're not there to sell it and explain this complex name, nobody's going to buy it. So the mindset is not only scalability, but sellability. If I stepped out, would this work? So this community that we're in right now, my mind is starting to go to how can I get people to make the most amount of money, whether they know me or not. My process. I have a podcast and I'll do a webinar or something like that. And I'm telling you to trust me because I have really, really good information and I can teach you. But how can I get it to a point where you're getting the same value without someone who understands maybe a little business at a little higher than you? I don't. Right now, we're going to keep doing exactly what we're doing, but I'm telling you, my goal is to create a process that not that I don't want to be on the calls because I absolutely love this stuff and you all forced me to go do research and create presentations and this is the best thing that's ever happened to my business life and I want to say thank you all. Thank you because it stretched me. But now it's time for you to see something in real time. What type of systems give you the same outcomes? And here's the answer. I don't know. I don't know. But I want you to know that I'm trying to figure it out. I would love you to be figuring out. I'd rather, it's okay to not have the answer, but it's not okay to not try to go get the answer. Okay. So one is starting with the exit in mind. And number two is solve one real problem really, really well. Solve one real problem really, really well. People don't buy effort, they buy the outcomes. Somebody put it in the chat. What is one pain that people would gladly pay to solve? One pain, throw it in the chat. What is one thing that people would gladly pay to solve this problem? Lose weight, absolutely. So Liddell says to lose weight. How do we solve the problem of people losing weight with or without me? With or without my ability to motivate and inspire? Work from anywhere, absolutely. So I'm actually about to do the story of Zoom. Man, this guy's story is incredible. And long story short, without the spoiler alert, the guy worked for WebEx. Y'all remember WebEx? It was bought by Cisco. It's still around, but he started working for WebEx. And then when Cisco bought it, he became like the VP. And he was like, yo, WebEx is so clunky and it's so slow. And there's a better process. So he's literally begging Cisco, let me build a better system. Man, they didn't let him. So he went and built it on his own. There was a real problem. Yo, and actually, one of the major issues, one of like this sparked in his mind was he really just wanted to see his girlfriend who lived mad far away, like 10 hours away. And he was like, yo, I wish I could just see my girlfriend. There was one big problem, and he set out to solve it. Somebody type a me in the chat if we solve a bunch of different problems. And we could use a little bit of narrower focus. Let me put my me in the chat. I'm gonna put my me in the chat. I'll put my me in the chat. I solve mad problems. And I could probably use more of a narrow focus of problem solving. But this is how we build something. So y'all know the company Calendly? It was created because this one guy hated scheduling meetings. That's it. It's worth billions now. He solved one annoying specific problem. Got it? Somebody put it in the chat. Solve a problem, but I want you to capitalize the A. Family, I hope you all don't think that I'm talking at you or trying to educate you. I'm going to get the information, and all I'm doing is sharing the information that I'm looking to apply in my business in real time. Okay? So I don't want y'all to feel like, oh, Dave, think you got it figured out. I don't. I want us all to figure this out together. Okay? Last thing, let's put together in the chat. Let's figure it out together. I'm just looking at these companies. I've been on this rabbit hole, trying to figure out how the heck do you build something that sells to somebody else. Number 3, we got to build the systems early. Now, many of us on this line, maybe we don't have, we ain't been in the game for 10, 15 years. So we're early enough to build a system early. Take this quote. If it breaks without you, it's not a business. If it breaks without you, it's not a business. It's a hustle. Will my company break without me? Now, it's not an easy process, but the first thing I think we need to start doing is documenting what you do. This is called an SOP or standard operating procedure, and we know what it means, but I think many of us can create one, but there's levels to that too. And I've had many people that claim they know SOPs and the SOP breaks. Listen, don't let people who like, oh, I do systems and I know how to create because they know a fancy word. It's not easy. It's not as simple as, oh, you gotta do is make some SOPs. It don't work like that. You have to create a standard operating procedure and then test it and see where it breaks, then do it again and see where it breaks and do it again and see where it breaks. I've had many SOPs broke. It's a continued process. So we got to start documenting all the stuff that we do in the business. Even if you're doing everything right now, just pretend you're trading your replacement. This is why McDonald's can have a teenager run a multi-billion-dollar business. A teenager can run the fries and the register and the kitchen because everything is documented and systematized. It's hard to break their standard operating procedures. One of the most franchisable businesses in the world. Why? Because it can be ran by a teenager. Let me tell you where I fall short. I have I have an offer where it's $5,000 a month, and I will shoot your podcast, edit your podcast, all that kind of stuff, right? But as I was actually like thinking about this morning, I was like, oh, for this process, and with this, I'm low-key mentoring you. And I'm helping you with the narrative and the shape of the show. Is this process currently scalable? And the answer is no. Because who else is going to teach you this stuff? Who else can give you like my ideas and ideologies? Which means I need to create some sort of formula. And then you plug in your formula. And then whoever's managing this particular client can teach the formula and it's just as effective. So one of my clients, we was walking around the studio and we were like, okay, I'm like, ooh, what you think about this room? They're like, ooh, I like this room. Well, we can set it up this way. I'm like, no, we can set it up this way. And we can set it up that way. And we could, so I'm walking around and I'm giving ideas and suggestions, which means for this offering at the clubhouse, we need to have 4 or 5 sets. This room can give us 2 sets. This room can give us 2 sets. This is another set here. Let's pick which set you want and let you choose. Why? Because I don't have to be there. Which one do you like best? This is the formula of the show. I don't even have to be there. And maybe I can put them in on my 7-Figure Podcast program. Maybe you get access to that because that's already a system that runs, and you get calls on a Friday, and you get the course and things of that nature. But as I was putting it together, my brain didn't go there. I'm thinking I could help some people, and I have the bandwidth to help these individual people. 5 people, $25,000 a month, no problem. I can manage that, but that will not scale. Do you guys understand what I'm saying to you all? Ladies, do you get it? Is our brain working? This is how I realize there's not anything wrong with my businesses. Nothing wrong with it, but it just wasn't intentional. Number 4, brand it like a business, not a side hustle. So some of us, we need to strive to get a professional web designer because we designed we designed the website ourselves, and it looks like we've designed it ourselves. And we do all the graphics ourselves on Canva. And because you're not a graphic designer and to you it looks good, have y'all ever, like on Q&A where somebody, yo, can you take a look at my website? Have y'all ever heard me say, you built that yourself, didn't you? Y'all ever heard me say that? How did I know? Because it looked like you built it yourself. And you're not a graphic designer. You had the idea. You built the business. You got a good business going on, but you built that website yourself. All them flyers, you made them joints yourself because you don't understand corporate design. I have a person that like does my designs. They're a corporate designer. The less flash, the better. But we have to brand it that way. So Podcast Summit took us a little while. Okay, the hot seat. First, it was a chair on fire, and it was like the things I want people to look at it and think this is a $1 billion company. Some of our logos are not $1 billion logos. You need to find a grant, and it's a little more expensive. I'm just saying, if you don't have the money right now, it's cool. We just need to strive to that. But we got to brand it like a business. Part of the reason, now I'm running ads for Podcast Summit. Y'all said, hey, I said, yo, I'm going to run some ads and I'll let you run the ads. Part of that is me building a model. One, where every time someone's inviting you to Podcast Summit, it's not David Shands. Yes, Ramon, you have not seen a hot seat episode in about 5 weeks because we're trying to present it like a show, and it doesn't look like a show. It looks like a podcast right now. I got 5 episodes ready to go, just not ready to go. I want to looking to do something else. But we think scaling is like, yo, we just go up. Sometimes scaling is going down to lay a foundation so it's stronger for us to stand on. Bro, I'm trying to figure this stuff out. Here's my promise to you all. I will never ever stop figuring it out. And some of us, it just doesn't, I don't know. Anyway, clear name, logo, message, and product. Even a small business should feel like a big company. Oh, yeah, Melvin. Oh, bruh, I am in a transition. And some people, when they get transitions, they just slow it. They don't do anything. They're like, I'm in a transition. I can't do anything. I'm still working, building too many things, actually. This is a life-changing season for me, believe it or not. Next, number 5. It's a tough conversation, but got to know your numbers, even if it's small. And no one is going to buy a company where the numbers aren't transparent. I was having a conversation with somebody Sunday, actually, and they have an amazing business model. They have an exciting vision when they talk about it, but I started asking them about the numbers, and the numbers were way off. And I could tell that the person was just throwing stuff out there. And then it's like, hold on, I have the projections. The projections were way off from what they said initially. And I'm like, ooh, this would be tough. I'm glad I'm not an investor. It's just a friend of mine that I was talking to. I'm glad I'm not an investor because you don't know anything about the numbers behind the business. I need an example. The business you don't track is the business you cannot sell. The business I don't track is the business that I can't sell. Now, even though I have bookkeepers that I meet with them on a regular basis and we go over the numbers, that's really not enough. For the clubhouse, let's say, for instance, I was gonna start franchising this, which I would like to start franchising it, but I don't know the numbers well enough. I know we're profitable, but this is something we got to drill down deep into. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, I've realized I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much, okay? And I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm doing too much. If you have one business, it's easy to track all of the numbers of the business. It's easy to focus on the branding. It's easy. It's easy. Easier. But I'm doing too much. If an investor's like, I like the Creators Clubhouse and I want to franchise this joint to 10 of them, I'd have to say, I got to get back to you on that. I have the numbers, but they're not detailed enough. Why? Because my accountants have to give me the numbers for all the stuff that I got going on. David Shands is a business. Social Proof is a business. Creators Clubhouse is a business. Podcast Summit is a whole nother situation that's incorporated in another. I got the real estate stuff. It's golly, man. I'm so glad there's no judgment here. I'm so glad there people may look at it like, yo, how is he so messed up and he's still teaching people business? He don't know nothing about business. I know enough. I know enough to teach my audience. All right, we got to know the numbers, family. Here's what you should know. How much it costs to get a customer, how much that customer spends, and what's left after expenses. Check this out. And I think in the strategy, right, going back to the example of this business that I'm building that's not that good of a business, just because it's profitable doesn't mean it's a great business. This Creators Clubhouse. If someone says, hey, I want to franchise it, going back to, what's that I put here? Number 3, building a system early, right? So let's say we have a system for our 5K client who we're going to shoot their podcast. We get it. Internally, it's all right, well, we have these 4 different sets. This is the model. We have 4 different sets. We have a standard setup for a 3-person, 2-person, 4-person shoot. This is how many cameras. We can SOP this thing out. Lights at a 45-degree angle for 2 people, things of that nature. Good. But if we were going to franchise it, I don't have a system of marketing. I don't have a system of marketing. Why? Most of the people that book this studio somehow come because of either a community that I'm a part of or from the podcast or people that I know. I do events, so I know other people that do events and do workshops, so I know other people that do workshops. And most of the people that book, I know them somehow. But that model of marketing isn't scalable, is it? If you wanted to put one of these in your city, I can't tell you how to market it because I didn't put a standard operating procedure in term. If Chick-fil-A is being built in your city, there is a model, not only just the internal stuff, not just the fries go here, dip for that long, sandwiches, nuggets, not just internal. They have a strategy on how we're going to drive traffic and let people know that we are here. Alex Hormozy built his whole business that way. For gym owners, he said, I don't care where you are, what city you're in, I can give you this system on how to grow your gym. See, most people want to focus on the SOPs or the standard operating procedure of how the business functions. But what about how the business grows? Whole nother conversation, am I right? But we got to know the numbers, okay? So even if you're like a small bakery or something like that, and you're making $3,000 a month, if you can show $1,000 a month profit, low overhead, steady customer growth, that's attractive to an investor because they can figure out how to scale it. It doesn't take anything big, I believe. Got it? Okay. All right. Let me run through this so we can get some hands up. Number 6 is we're gonna have to build a team. I mean, we got to start somewhere. If you're the only one doing the work, you're also the bottleneck. I am the bottleneck. Put it in the chat, y'all. I am the bottleneck if you are, in fact, the bottleneck, the thing that keeps the business from growing. I am so glad we're having this conversation because I don't know about y'all, but this conversation is helping me more than it's helping you. For real. Like I wish there was like a scan, like a CAT scan or something like that that can show y'all what's going on inside my body right now. I'm hot. I'm getting hot. And as I start putting this presentation together, my brain is on overdrive right now. Golly. I'm burning up on the inside. This is a good conversation, right? So early on, like Mr. Beast, he hired editors, managers, writers, all that kind of stuff early on. I don't know if y'all know Country Wayne. He has a strong team. They're putting out dozens and dozens and one of the best systems I've ever seen in my life. Country Wayne puts out more content than anyone on the internet. Period, point blank. It's dozens a day. One man can't do that. Auntie Shaky, absolutely we can get Mr. Beast to the podcast summit. For sure. We're speaking that thing into existence. Might not be this year. You know what I mean? Might not be this year because ooh wee. Okay. Lastly, because I want to open it up, make it bigger than you. Make it bigger than you. I don't have a whole lot to say on this, but you can sell a brand really, really hard to sell your personality, though. Let's start making our business feel like a movement, like a community, like there's a cause attached to it. People want to buy things that have momentum and meaning. I do believe I could have sold my Sleepers for Suckers t-shirt company because we had some momentum. It's just I was so young and I'm like, dang, this t-shirt thing is not making any money. And I just knew I had to pivot away from it, but I could have sold it. I 100% had enough brand equity where I could have sold it. Not $100 million, but someone would have bought it for 100,000, 150,000. If you build with purpose and brand clarity and you run systems, you don't just have a business. You have a business that someone else would want to own. So let's just start thinking. Everything we do, can this be duplicated by someone else? Okay. All right. I'm done, man. I want to hear from you all. Let's get these hands going. Let's get these hands going. Oh, y'all don't know. I am. And y'all gonna see a double because I'm live streaming this. And hey, family, if y'all want to be a part of these conversations, I stream maybe once a week, but we're on here 5 days a week. Go to themorningmeetup.com, themorningmeetup.com, because you need to be a part of this. So it might look funky where you see two people, but don't worry about it. All right, go for it. Who's up?
Okay. So, okay, this is such a good conversation. Dave, where'd you go?
I'm here. There we go. I think that's gonna work.
Okay.
I'm trying
Okay.
some new streaming stuff, so don't mind me.
Okay. So why do I look so fuzzy and you look so clear?
I don't know. Let's just keep going. I'm figuring it out.
Okay. That's right. Okay. So anyway, so this was such a good conversation because here's the thing.
Hold on, you're not gonna see me for a second, okay? Just you're gonna be on the screen. Just talk. I can hear you though. Go for it.
Okay. When you talk about being duplicatable and then also you build a brand and stuff like that, I think the problem that I'm coming into is that when I'm trying to build my agency and duplicate myself, people are looking at how to be me, how to like have a big personality or something like that. And how do I tone down myself and just make it just about the company and take my personality out of it so that it can be duplicatable faster? Does that make sense? Instead of them looking to try to be like me.
I understand. Again, I think that was the conversation we're having today is, well, when we talk about it, we have a big personality, right? But it's about training other people to talk about it. Or do we have a system? Oh, this is what I'm going to say. So a podcast summit, remember I was telling y'all to make some ads and we're running ads with other people. It's because I want to create a model. Maybe next year we have 100 ads that are running and other people are saying, come to Podcast Summit. And there's a lot of people that sent me their ad, but it didn't follow the format. So I had to write down the format. Hey, I need a strong hook, something that makes people stop scrolling. Say something like, your podcast sucks, or your voice has been in jail for too long. And I said, okay, well, the second part is you need to tell them all the reasons that you're coming to Podcast Summit yourself. And then third, call to action. So this is me trying to create some sort of system for people to record the ads, but it's also for a bigger play to where I'm able to remove myself from the ad and I'm the only invitation. So it's about like thinking of how do we create some sort of system of promotion where I can teach other people how to promote? Or we have some sort of system that promotes. Everything we buy doesn't have a face attached to it, does it?
No.
So it takes like some thought, takes some thinking, some deep thinking around this thing. We don't have it figured out just yet, but we will if we're intentional with trying to figure it out. And I'm not saying scale down your personality because your personality may need to be the blueprint that people follow. Got it?
Okay.
But we have to we have to look at what we do and try to systematize what we do to be able to teach someone how to do it.
Makes sense.
Got it? Hey,
Yes.
look, let's all grow together, okay? All right, next. Nella, I need you to bring them up because I can't see.
It's me. Good morning.
Okay, good
It's Ashley.
morning.
It's
It's
Ashley.
Ashley.
What's up, Ash?
I said it's me like you was just gonna know it was me. Um, I just had
Don't worry about it.
oh,
Just keep
that was
going.
weird.
Don't worry about it. I know. Just keep going. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
There we go.
Ashley, yeah.
There we go.
You're good.
You just mentioned that you could have sold Sleep is for Suckers, the brand.
Mm-hmm.
What would that have looked like? Like how could you have sold that? And you're talking about strictly the clothing brand, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How could you have sold
So
that?
because we had like an ideology behind it, and I had a seamless process of okay, when we get down to this amount, we order again, and we just
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of brand equity. Like Eric Times was promoting it. We had a lot of celebrities. So that brand itself, because it wasn't my face on a T-shirt, but there were so many people that were taking the ideology and making content around it. This one dude tattooed the "Sleep is for Suckers" logo on his hand. It's still
Oh
there
wow.
today.
Mm.
So we had some brand equity. So at that time, if I was gonna like pivot away from it, I should have just said, you know what, let me find a partner, let me find somebody that can take this idea. They got the hustle, they got the grind. I could have sold it. But I wasn't even thinking of sell. I wasn't thinking in that way. That was my issue. But we had a lot of
Okay.
brand equity.
And that's
Yep.
why you could have sold it from the brand
Right.
equity.
I
Got it.
believe so.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Thank you,
Uh,
Ashley. Coach Ruth, you're up, ma'am.
what's up, Coach Ruth?
Okay, good morning, Dave.
Good
So
morning.
what does scaling or being able to position my company to sell look like for someone who's a speaker and a coach?
Well, you can't. If you're a speaker or a coach, you just can't sell. Now, I don't want anybody to get this confused. It's nothing wrong with building a life as a speaker or a coach. I could do this for the rest of my life and I'll be fine. But people don't buy people. That's called indentured servitude. People buy things that they can sell without a person being attached to it, right? And again, I'm not even coming from an experience perspective. I'm coming from this is what I'm looking at, and this is where I'm looking to go right now. So, do you have something that if you're removed, will it work? McDonald's, Best Buy, Zaxby's, Walmart, Dollar Shave Club, Rolex, these companies, Warby Parker. I don't know who the person's name but I don't know who the person is, but it got to be somebody's name. But they sell really cool glasses, and I buy the glasses whether I met Warby or not. What can we
Okay,
do?
so it's more like for products, and
It
less
could
for
be a
service.
product. It could be a product or a service. What about massage? What's that massage company? Massage therapy? What's that? Is it called massage therapy? The little massage company. You ever had a massage?
Yes, but not
Massage
from a
Envy.
And
li-
in Stone?
Perfect. Massage Envy. That's
Oh,
not a
okay.
product. That's a service.
Okay.
Massage Envy.
So,
They just have franchises where
okay.
they have a system and a process. It's a way to market it to bring people into this new location. All of that kind of stuff. So, as a speaker or a coach, we can't sell that. But if you are that speaker and you create a product or a service and it has some sort of system behind it, you can be the marketer for it. You could be one of the marketers for it. You get me?
Oh, okay.
So let's just
Yes.
keep thinking about it, bro. This is actually a really difficult concept to understand. And again, just my disclaimer: I'm not talking to y'all from a perspective of someone who's done it, but I'm allowing y'all to see my goals and desires right now in real time. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm like, you feel me? We're gonna do this together. So good news is we're all starting off at the same place. We all have things we need to fix real bad in our business. Am I right? Not just you, me. So I love that. All right, y'all. Today was a really good conversation. Tomorrow will probably be more interactive, actually. And we are going to think in terms of building something huge. All right. So I love you all. Again, if you're watching this online, go to themorningmeetup.com. We do this maybe once a week, if that. But you can be in here every day. We here Monday through Friday. So love you all. Nella, it is over to you, my sister.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David. We greatly appreciate you. All right, y'all, I'm going to make a couple of announcements. Do not go. Do not go, because before I even do the book club announcement, I want y'all to go ahead and pick this book, because y'all not going to say this ain't no democracy.